You may have heard that there's some changes coming to private health insurance on April the 1st. There's a number of things that are going to change. One is which particular therapies are still eligible to receive rebates. And the purpose of the changes was to make certain natural therapies no longer eligible to receive private health insurance rebates under your extras cover. The original plan was to make Pilates one of the things that was no longer eligible under the private health insurance reforms. But what the decision makers weren't aware of is that a lot of physios use principles and treatment techniques of Pilates woven into their everyday treatment of their clients. After a period of time, the government and private health insurers agreed that it was impossible to separate out those elements of Pilates from other things that physiotherapists do to help people to move better and to get stronger and more flexible and to reduce their pain. Whether or not physio treatment draws from strength and conditioning or massage or Pilates, it's still physiotherapy, and it's still delivered with physiotherapy reasoning. With the new rules that come in on April the 1st, if a class or a group is advertised as Pilates, or if the content of the group is purely Pilates exercises, then it will no longer be eligible for any private health insurance rebates. And no, that doesn't mean that a physio can't provide Pilates classes anymore. It just means that those particular classes won't be eligible for rebates under your extras cover. Firstly, we run a Pilates mat class, and that is a pure Pilates class, and the content isn't going to change. So that will remain as a Pilates class and will be called that, and won't be eligible for rebates from your private health insurance. And luckily for us, the way that we run our groups means that we're compliant with the new reforms. It just means that we need to change our name and not use the term Pilates in it. In a sense, we've been using the term Pilates as a convenient title for the groups, and that's not meant to diminish the usefulness of Pilates. It's just that most of our groups involve a lot more than just Pilates exercises. But everyone knows what we mean when we say Pilates groups, and so that's what we've called them for the last number of years. In our group sessions, we do use Pilates principles and we do use Pilates style equipment, but it's certainly not limited to that. We use many other principles and many other forms of exercises like strengthening and conditioning, flexibility work, progressive loading and overloading of certain tissues, graded exposure. We explore directional preferences, so it's certainly not limited to just Pilates principles at all. Yeah, we do. We use traditional Pilates style equipment too. We've got reformers, and we've got trapeze tables and multi-chair, ladder barrel, small barrel. But in addition to that, we use exercise bikes in our groups too. We've got a treadmill, we use hand weights, we use wobble boards, we use TheraBand, we use exercise balls, fit balls, we have kettlebells, so it's really a wide variety of equipment too, which steps outside of traditional Pilates. So it all depends on the person that's in front of us and what they need. Yeah, so we're changing the name of our groups. We're changing from Pilates equipment groups to Physiotherapy Group Treatment. And in a sense, that's a better reflection of what our groups are anyway. So even though these reforms have brought about a change of name to our groups, it suits their content and their structure much better anyway. So I'm not unhappy about it at all. And ironically enough, that's right, we don't have to change the name of our clinic. We're still going to be Adelaide West Physio and Pilates. The first thing is they're individualised. Everyone that comes in does an individual initial assessment, followed up by individual sessions in the equipment studio to learn a program. So the program that we're creating for someone is customised for exactly what they need. We set goals with you and establish baselines as well so we can see change. And it's all about making sure that the program is suiting you and your needs and what you're looking to change and what we need to achieve to solve your problem. Our physio groups are small. There's 6 people and often less in the groups. These groups are supervised 100% of the time by a physiotherapist. They're not just present, but they're actively involved in the group. They're spending time with each participant in the group, checking technique and changing exercises, progressing them or regressing them as it's required on a particular day. Yeah, and we're removing the reference to Pilates as the title for our groups. Having said that, we will still be running our Pilates mat class, so we're not removing the word Pilates from our website completely, but these particular groups are not going to be called Pilates equipment groups anymore. They're going to be called Physiotherapy Group Treatment. So yes, we'll still use exercises that have a Pilates influence on them, but for the right person, in the right circumstances, in the right way. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. You just have to be aware that it doesn't attract the private health insurance rebates. Yeah, so it doesn't matter whether you're looking to claim rebates or not. The process is still the same. You still start with an individual assessment and you still do individual sessions. When you're ready to progress into the groups, if you want to do a program that's 100% Pilates, that's fine, but again, it just won't attract a rebate. Yeah, well, that's a really good reason for taking part. In a sense, it's a bit of a shame because the changes do diminish the importance of prevention and healthy living. So one thing that you might want to look into with your private health provider is whether or not they provide for any kind of maintenance or general health program, because if they do, we can certainly construct a program that is compliant but helps with your wellbeing and your maintenance. Yeah, there's no way we can give you a guarantee on that, because even if we're following the changes and our groups are completely compliant, it's still up to the health insurer. If they decide they're not going to provide rebates for a group of that sort, then that's their decision, isn't it? But by the same token, if you're not happy about that, then you're within your rights to look around and see if there's a health insurer that better suits your needs. Yes, so if you need more information, I would check out our website, www.adelaidewestphysio.com.au. So there's some information on there, but I think the best thing of all would be speak directly with your health insurance provider and find out from them as much as you can.